channel, everybody. It's Pocket Rocket Garage, and it's been a while since I've been in here to get any work done. I have cleaned the garage, but that's about all I've done. Now, in the last video, you viewers got the channel to over 1,000 subscribers. I was so chuffed. I just sort of went a bit crazy. I went into work and said, oh, I'm a YouTuber now, I've made it. I handed a notice in, and then realised I've got to have a lot more watched hours, so I had to go back in, ask my job back. So that was a bit embarrassing. But yes, I'm back in the garage today to make some new content for you viewers. And obviously there's still plenty of metal to put into this Mini. I myself didn't realise how much rot was on this classic Mini. And being a 1998 MPI, it is quite severe. And yeah, maybe I did bite off more than I can chew. But we're getting through it, so stick with the channel. And I'll try and get some new content to you, a bit more regular. That way you can enjoy the build, because it is a bit slow going, I know, but stick with it. We're going to get there. I've got some serial boxes here today, so we're going to be doing some CAD work, cardboard aided design. We're going to cut some shapes out, we're going to make a repair section, and then hopefully in this video we'll get the floor done, and fingers crossed, dare I say it, we might get the new outer seal done on this one side, on the passenger side. Who knows? Keep watching this video today, we'll see how we get on. Let's go for it. Now this is a bit like making a Tracy Island. I've got the cardboard, I've got the duct tape, I'm piecing it all together until I'm left with a nice cardboard template, and then I'm going to transfer that onto some metal, draw around it, and I should be left with a nice metal repair section. This is what I'm left with, the metal repair shape from the cardboard template, so that can go in the bin. And no, I'm not smoking today. It's just, it's absolutely freezing in the garage, so it is really cold. But I'm going to get on with this. I'm going to throw it onto time-lapse. I might even do some narrating, like Keith at Classic Mini Workshop, because it's really helpful to do a bit of a sort of narrating over the video to let you know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And that also helps me to get on with the video a little bit quicker. So let's get on with the next section now. All I'm doing now is making minor adjustments to the repair section until I get a nice fit. Now once your panel's in position, I'm using an intergrip here just to keep it nice and level. Take your time with the welding, and I have done so many repair sections now where I've blown through, but finally I seem to have got a nice technique going where, you know, I'm just taking my time. Go slower than you think and you'll get much better results. Now, apart from that dirt that needs a good clean, I think the repair section has turned out fantastic. Let me know in the comments what you think. I do like to get you viewers and subscribers in close so you can see how the repairs look. I don't want to cover it in primer, mastic or filler, and you never to know what it looked like after all that effort. So yeah, here it is, and guess what? It's now time to move on to another repair. Here's the floor repair section. You can see I've added the holes here to gain access into the sill cavity, and you can put in there the wax once it's all together. At the front here, I've got to redress the actual flange line because I just can't get it to fit tight against the front flitch. So the plug welding or the plug welds won't actually be any good if there's not a nice tight gap between the two panels. And here there's no return lip whatsoever, so I've got a big gap here into the inner sill, or into the sill cavity, so I need to add a piece on there. And then the whole section along here is too short, which I'll show you in just a moment. This thick black line that you see here, that is the original repair section line that it finished on, and I've added some extra material quite a bit more, and you can see the really straight line that I've actually drawn is where the new cut line will be. So there was that much extra needed when it was put in position. Probably because it's a repair section, I've had to twist it and modify it to get it to fit. That's what it looks like on this side, and now I'm going to add on the extra tab that's going to go here. You'll see I've purchased some tiny magnets from eBay, and they are absolutely fantastic for holding small repair sections in position while you're welding. So all I'm doing here is welding again, cleaning down the area in between MIG welding. Take your time again and just keep going until you've filled up all the areas. On this repair section, you'll see in a minute that I actually turn it over to make sure it's completely seam welded with no pinholes, and then I'll grind down all the excess ready for paint. Now, one thing I haven't tried for ages is the doorbell. Let's see if I can grab a nice cup of tea. Thank you. Looks like it still works. Here's the panel, and I've even drilled all the holes on the flange areas ready for plug welding. Let's get it in the car quickly, mock it all up. I've got the floor in position with some intergrips just there and here, just for the moment. It's going to come back out again. You'll see I've ended up welding on a whole new end to the cross member, just to give me a much better fit, and the previous repairs I'd done to the original cross member had made the metal so thin that it wasn't ideal for plug welding. So this is the option I've gone for. A little bit more work, but I'm really happy with it. I'm going to get it all taken apart again now, and then I'm going to get it all prepped with weld-through primer, etc., ready for welding. I'm underneath the car. It's really uncomfortable, but I just wanted to show you what I've done. So everything's had primer on it. It's got weld-through primer where it needs it. I've put some seam sealer over the weld joins. I've put some seam sealer over this long weld line. You can just see where the weld penetrated through there, but it's all had seam sealant on it. It's all watertight. It's good to go. I might put a bit more top coat over here just before we then get the floor welded on. I just remembered I had some paint in the shed that I purchased when I first bought the car. Now, it's meant to be the same colour, Tahiti blue, and all mixed, so I'm going to give it a really good shake, and then I'm going to spray the inside of the cross member before I put the floor on. It's absolutely fantastic to see some colour going onto this Mini, even though it is in areas that will never be seen. But at least it gives it that extra protection that, as you know, the classic Mini really does need. So I'm doing the floor repair section here, which will be underneath the cross member. So it's got, again, a load of protection, even in the areas that you won't see. The floor is finally in position to weld. You can see a little bit of the blue paint there inside the cross member. The weld-through primer is just about in position to plug weld onto. I will be using a little wire brush just to make sure it's all cleaned down nicely. You can see there I've already done that on the long join line, and then I'll be plug welding all into the holes that are already there. Here we go. No going back now. Let's hope it all goes to plan and we don't get any problems. So I've started welding the repair section, again using the intergrips to keep the panel nice and level, and just taking my time until I get a really good finish. Now, I've done loads of welding on this classic Mini and I'm still learning, so yeah, if you're having any problems, just take your time, keep going. I might do a MIG welding video in the future. You know, I'm no expert, but I'm getting good results now, so I must be doing something right. or who knows, maybe it's just luck. Those plug welds are the last of the welding on the floor repair. Now, I've got a huge amount of grinding ahead of me. I hope I don't annoy the neighbours too much, so I'm going to get going with the grinding. I'll bring you back in when the majority is done and it looks ready for some sort of paint. Now, you will have noticed I've actually removed my bolt-in door brace. Now, I fitted this many weeks ago before I cut out the floor. And it was really good because I bolted it through where the door hinges go and it hooked in to where the door latch is, which is super strong because you can move the whole car with it. And that served its purpose. It's brilliant. I'm sure I'm going to have to use it on the other side at some stage. I've finished all the grinding. Yes, the neighbours did complain. I've given the floor a coat of primer. I'm going to bring the camera in so you can see what it looks like. It turned out really well and I'm really pleased with it. So I'll grab you now, bring you in, and then it's time to drill out all the holes on the outer seal, ready for plug welding that finally into position. All the holes are drilled out for the outer seal. I sprayed the whole of the inside with gloss black paint, and now I've removed some of the gloss black paint where I'm going to add the zinc weld through primer. All of these areas. Get that done and it's time to put it in position. I've just gripped it flush here with the trusty mole grips. You'll see as we go along it does pull out, but it just needs to be pushed in and clamped in place. I've taken away the primer surface on the top there with a drill bit. You can see I've put on some filler in stages / cake mix. It does look a mess, but the majority of that will be sanded away, leaving a light skim. I've got a huge amount of plug welding to do. Underneath, you can see all of the plug welding needs to be done to the floor. So I'll best get on with it and I'll bring you back after we've done it. Now, I know what you're thinking. How long has it taken this guy to get an outer sill on? And you're right, it's about time. Now, all I'm doing is putting the panel in position with some grips. I've got a little wire attachment on the end of the drill and I'm cleaning up all the surfaces that are going to be plug welded. This way, I should get a really good weld. Now, you'll know just from the sound of the welding if it's right, and if it sounds like sizzling bacon, you're onto a winner. If only I had a spot welder, but for now I'm just going to keep on plug welding where it needs to be done. And after all of that plug welding, I've got to do a serious amount of grinding and fettling, and then I'll put some primer on all of the outer seal, and that'll be done, and then I can spin the car around and start all over again on the other side. So I'll get me turning the car around on the next video. I'll try and get it out a bit quicker this time. So if you like the content, please remember to hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, and leave a comment where you can. And just thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.